Welcome to Excel Beyond Boundaries, episode 17 with Tim Thompson, who is an online fitness coach and a competitive bodybuilder from currently in North Carolina. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. I appreciate you joining me.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, before I get into jumping right in with the fitness journey questions, I actually wanted to ask, I know you told me that you're in North Carolina for the military. What branch are you in?
Yes, sir. So I'm currently stationed in Fayetteville, North Carolina, active duty military, U.S. Army specifically. And my MOS within the military is a contract specialist. So essentially, I just help small businesses within the area access government contracts. Essentially, it's my goal. So help the community.
Very nice. And you are getting out in 3 days, you said?
Yes, sir. Finally. Papers are here. It's time to go. Focus on my clients. Yes, sir. 3 days, I'll be out of the military.
That's exciting. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And then you're going to transition right into focusing entirely on your online business. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Full time, just point to my clients as much as I can.
Nice, nice. If you want, actually feel free to take a moment and share what you do with your clients, what your niche is.
Okay. Absolutely. So again, Tim Thompson, online fitness coach. I like to call myself a weight loss expert more specifically, but I specialize in helping busy moms specifically to obtain a flat stomach in 90 days or less without using the curves. So that's pretty much my system. I use a three-step approach. I believe in one, meeting people where they are. Two, ensuring that I alter their habits. And number three, letting them borrow my accountability until they develop their own. So absolutely.
Very good. Well, I'll definitely make sure I link everything at the bottom of the episode when we launch it. So
Thank
that's
you.
perfect. So I wanted to ask you, what does Excel Beyond Boundaries mean to you?
No, it's funny when I seen the name of the podcast when I first, we made contact. I was like, this is like super creative. But excelling beyond boundaries to me mean no limitations. That's what I see. No limitations. The world has enough boundaries as is, right? Last thing we need is us setting them on ourselves. So more importantly, there's always a ceiling, right? But you can always break through that. And that's what it means to me truthfully. And on the positive side of that as well, what it also means to me is to set boundaries to protect your growth and your peace as well. So I kind of see it as a two-sided coin. I love it. Very diverse. Great name, man. Great name.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that was a great answer. I like that. Very well said.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
especially on the spot.
Yes, absolutely.
When did you get into your fitness journey? Were you always active or you kind of was it later in life?
So totally honest with you, it was super later in life, right? High school, play sports, basketball, football, I sucked, but I was really athletic. College, same thing, play sports. I wasn't good enough to make it to the pros, so I joined the military. And in the military, I was just naturally gifted. So I always excelled past others. But long story short, in 2021, my mom was placed on dialysis. And now the baby, I'm the youngest of everyone, so I was left behind to take care of her. I took about 90 days of military leave to take care of her. And just watching her process, it was eating me alive. So at one point, I put the doctor aside and was just like, hey, how did this come about? And the one thing that he hit on was obesity, nutrition, lack of movement, essentially. And from there, I made it my business to educate myself and, the importance of nutrition, fitness. And then that led to me helping three of five of my siblings to no longer be obese as well as avoid diabetes. That's where it began for me. 2021, seeing my mom struggle, I was just like, I never want to go through this. I don't want anybody else in the world to go through this. So that's what led to me taking this on. It was a calling.
That's beautiful. Really.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is a beautiful story to, not only help your mother, but to help her transform, help your siblings transform,
Hmm.
and to really be that positive role model and game changer in your family to change
Absolutely.
those habits.
Absolutely. It was a lot of work, but we got it done. We got it done.
Good, good. Wow. That's not easy to do too, because I know a lot of relatives can be resistant and stuck in their ways.
Yes, absolutely. With me being the baby, it was the biggest struggle was me being the baby out of all of the siblings. So it was like, I don't want to listen to you. I took care of you. I changed your diapers. And it's like, I'm trying to save your life here. So definitely was an uphill battle. Absolutely.
I respect that. What was the biggest challenge, would you say?
So the biggest challenge was nutrition, in my opinion. As you know, excuse me, are you an online coach as well? I think you transitioning something like that.
Yeah, getting into
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I've made the step yet, but soon.
Got you. Okay, perfect. So one of the things you'll come across once you, cross over into that light, is patience. You have to have patience. And that was the biggest test with my siblings. When it came down to nutrition, they were trying to fit everything in that didn't belong in the diet. And I would just get several calls a day or photos of snacks like, can I have this? Can I have this? And I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm doing this for free out of the kindness of my heart. And it was frustrating, but I just kept thinking about my mother. It kept me consistent. And eventually we definitely reached that goal.
I see. So you would say being patient was one of the
Yes.
qualities that helps you pull through with all each member.
Yes, absolutely. Patience.
Patience. That's good to remember, and that's still very impactful because a lot of
Yes,
people have family members, you know, friends, and they either don't take initiative to try to change them or don't have success like you did. So that's amazing.
absolutely. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. What's advice that you would give someone to someone who this is kind of a random question and it's not
Mhm.
fitness related, but it could be. What's advice to someone who feels you'd give to someone who feels stuck in their current circumstances? So if someone feels, you know, overweight or unhappy or just stuck in their 9 to 5, what would you say is some advice for them?
So, number one, me personally, and it's crazy. I just heard this quote the other day from Alex Amosi. He's someone I look up to in the fitness industry. Super brilliant guy. But one thing that I would tell someone, number one, is to go for it, right? But it's easier said than done. It's easier to tell someone, hey, quit your 9 to 5 and focus on your fitness business. It's like, okay, how do I feed my wife, my kids? Or hey, put that cheeseburger down and eat this salad. It's like, but I've been doing this for 20 years, right? So, number one, I would tell people to go for it. Whatever it is that you want to do, legit, go for it. Do it alone, do it scared, do it afraid. Just like anything in life, eventually the pieces will come together. It'll make sense. That's number one. Next thing from Alex Amosi is what's the worst that can happen? That's something I ask myself every day. And my advice to the world, start with the worst case scenario. So worst case scenario is you die. So if you start dieting properly, if you quit your 9 to 5 job, will you die? That's like the number one like underlying question. And if the answer is no, go for it. Life will work itself out. Trust me. That's just my advice to the world. And I'm only 29. I'm not that old, but that's just how I live my life. Will I die? That's it.
I like that. You simplified it. You made it so simple.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And I have to say, for 29, it sounds like you've accomplished a lot. It sounds like you've experienced
Mm,
and accomplished a lot. So, no, I respect that, really.
thank you. Yes, a lot. Thank you. A lot. Seen a lot. Done a lot. Been a lot of places. Thank you.
Definitely. With that being said, how would you describe your mindset? If you had to describe your mindset in 3 words, what would you say?
Persistence, right? I don't quit. Yeah, if you know me, if you know me, is to know that I won't quit. I'm gonna get what I want. I promise you. That's number one. Number
Persistent,
two, resilient, right?
resilient.
Nothing gets to me. The world has to burn before something gets to me. And then the very last thing is accountable. I pride myself on accountability. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but I'm making my business to try to hold myself to the fire before I point the finger at anyone else. Absolutely.
Good. That's a good 3 words. Accountability is probably not a very common one.
Yes. Tell me about it. Self accountability at that.
Oh, yeah. And actually, going back, I was going to say, you said you traveled a lot. And where have you been across the world?
So, in terms of travel, like family vacations, I've been to a few islands, yeah, Barbados, things of that nature, DR, But military wise, they took me everywhere. I've been to Iraq, Afghanistan, Germany, South Korea, but more so near North Korea at the DZ, which is like the danger zone, essentially, like the border. Seen a lot, been a lot of places, and that's where the resiliency comes in. Like at some point, you have to compartmentalize things in your mind and just tell yourself, like, hey, that was there, leave it there. Like I don't have to worry about running over an IUD as I'm riding up I-95. Like it's okay, get it out of your mind. Of course, there's impact. You have your nightmares and things of that nature, but nothing support can't fix. So absolutely.
That's I always thought that the military was such a good choice for young men. One of my closest friends was in the army, and I remember he wanted me to join with him. And I wanted to go to college first, but I feel like looking back, it would have been a smoother journey if I had done army with him, then
Hmm.
college, and
Yeah.
then everything else that I wanted to do. So always a good choice. And it's amazing because he traveled the world too. He was in Yeah, Iraq, Afghanistan, South Korea, Germany.
Hmm.
He met a German girl, got married. He's got two kids now.
Beautiful,
It's
beautiful, bro.
it is. So I'm excited for you. This new chapter that's coming up.
Yes, thank you. It's a transition. It's one for the books, but got to make it happen.
Definitely. Sounds like you're very smart though with setting up your fitness business on the side, which is now a full-time business. So got a lot of
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny, right? If you don't mind, I would like to share something really quick, right? So my most recent tour was November 2022. I got sent to Korea for just a 1 year tour, something simple, safe, nothing dangerous. And prior to, I was an in-person personal trainer, right? I had about 28 clients, give or take, right, that I'm training inside of a local gym. Long story short, I get my orders, I get sent overseas. Now all of these people are in love with me as the trainer. Like, we want you. I'm like, hey, I'm not there. I'll refer you. No, no, no. We want you. That created the online coaching. I had to learn how to reach them from a different time zone. So
wow. You have
that's where that came about.
That's really powerful because they loved you so much they weren't ready to just accept that you weren't going to be their trainer anymore.
Yeah. I'm talking about, I received the like really dirty email from like the general manager because 24 out of those 28 people canceled their memberships and just started training with me virtually.
Wow,
Mhm.
that is.
They left.
I've got to ask you some advice because that's like, there's so many personal trainers, and I worked in the industry for a while, all different
Mhm.
gyms, and it's not very common that you see someone in the industry that has that kind of a following. So
Absolutely.
you definitely, yeah, that takes doing everything right and really that passion shining through all the factors.
Yep. Conviction.
What would you say, actually, since we're on the subject, what would you say is something that has led to your success in the industry?
Full experience. And I know that's very cliche, but I had to bump my head a lot. I've been through so many different softwares, so many different developers, a lot of money wasted. Experience has been the biggest teacher, though. In terms of my growth, for me, it was a matter of just doing. And it goes back to like the very first thing I told you in the beginning of the episode is just do. Like, everything else will work itself out. Just do it. And when I tell you I didn't know what I was doing, like, legit, but I just put my best foot forward and kept going. And ultimately, now I feel confident to where now I have mentees under me who I can assist and help grow in their own right, So experience. I would tell everyone, get that experience. Don't run. Don't run from it.
So just to take it, to jump in, but to take it slow and just let things organically happen, unfold.
Absolutely. Jump in and don't try to control it, if that sounds right. So some people cut themselves short at the knees. Oh, I'll start with only 5 clients, but what happens when 20 people gravitate toward you? That's 20 lives you can impact. Let's not even talk financial. That's 20 lives in which you can change for the better. You can't neglect them. So that's why I say go. Don't set no limitations. Excel boundaries. You know.
That makes sense. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
What are you most proud of along your fitness journey? Because I know you said you started late in life, even though you're young, relatively
Mhm.
late. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, what would you say is you're most proud of along your fitness journey? Because I saw that you did different competitions.
Yes. So one of my most proudest moments was actually 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, give or take. So I did a competition in Williamsburg, Virginia, right? In the OCB, it's a natural federation. But I finally got my first place, right? And then I got my first place, and in my mind, I'm so excited because I'm used to placing second, third, fourth. I got really excited. I'm like, I won. And then I come backstage with the trophy, and the expediter's like, put it down. You got to go back up. I'm like, wait, wait, wait. I thought I won my pro card. They sent me back on stage, and now I got to battle it out with the dude for the pro card. Long story short, he won, but I was super excited about the first place finish. That after the show, it didn't hit me like I was really excited, and I didn't even win, but it was to get to that, that goal of mine of just getting the first place finish in a competition. I would say that, and my family. My daughter just recently turned 1. I've been married now for 4 years, so just seeing the growth and my family, as well as my bodybuilding career. That's been like my biggest, like my most proudest moment. Seeing my daughter holding my trophy.
That's beautiful. And, the fitness side is quite an accomplishment with, I saw my girlfriend go
Hmm.
through the process, and I never understood bodybuilding until I was, like, knee deep in it with going to her shows.
Hmm.
I saw how much discipline it took behind the scenes, how
Yes.
relentless she was, how I have so much respect for the sport because that is not easy.
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
Like an obstacle course race, you train, you eat generally what you want, within limits. You do the
Hmm.
race, you're done. But with bodybuilding or bikini, it's 24/7 for like 6
Yep.
months, 7 months. Crazy.
Yep. No break. No break. Even off season, there's no break.
And
The second you stop, your body's gonna tell on you. Let's just put it like that. Your body will
yeah,
tell on you if you start doing what you're not supposed to.
yeah, no, it's crazy. The level of discipline it takes to not, have a bite of this or cheat with your meal plan,
Hmm.
man. But aside from that,
Hmm.
I love the fact that you said your daughter, your family, because
Yes.
you are, to me, that balance, it truly is success. And it seems like you have a mindset that so many people need to adopt of just, priorities, your values, your family. That's amazing.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it taught me something, believe it or not. When you have super, oh, how can I say this? When you place your family in high regard with like, great value within your morals and principles, you tend to value the time of others the same exact way. So at one point, I started out with just being a guy who's on my clients like a drill sergeant. Now I'm a little bit more understanding of, oh, hey, you're a single mom with three kids. I understand, you know,
I
and it
see.
definitely helps.
I see. So different level of maturity in a sense.
Absolutely. Maturity, acknowledgement, and more so assertiveness. You become a lot more assertive the deeper you go as a family man. Like, I understand. You get a pass today.
Interesting. Huh. If the kind of jumping around a little bit, a couple
Uh-huh.
fun questions I was gonna ask. I know you train
Yes.
hard. When you train, do you have a go-to song or playlist that kind of gets you through?
Yes, absolutely. So it's just funny. You're gonna laugh at this, but it's kind of funny. Whenever I'm training upper body, right, I need something. I love Jay-Z Take Over. That's my stage song at every show. I play it. If they hear that, the judges know I'm coming. Like they email me like, I already know what song you want. Like good. But Jay-Z Take Over. And then I don't know why, but any DMX song, it just sounds so violent. It makes me want to move all weight that's around me. So that's upper body. When it comes down to lower body, this is the funny part. I have to listen to either R&B or gospel, something very calming. Reason being, I'm under hundreds of pounds. I can't afford to break focus. So I need something calming to focus. Yeah, it sounds weird, but I move on my heart rate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So leg days, the heart rate is way lower, so I just flow with my heart rate as it relates to the music.
I thought you were gonna say even like, more hyped up music for leg day.
Not at all. I look at people in the gym doing that and I'm like, you're gonna get hurt. Like calm down, focus on what you're doing, so I'm all about focus.
But yeah, no, that makes sense. And it's just interesting that you want a higher level of focus when you're lifting heavy, which makes sense. It
Hmm.
completely makes sense. And it's
Hmm.
also fascinating how did it change over time? Like earlier in your fitness journey, did you listen to like crazy music or,
Yes.
get angry and then kind of transform?
Absolutely. So when I first began, or call myself beginning my journey, I'll never forget. I graduated Master Fitness School in the Army. So basically, that makes me like one of the most top physical fit people within the U.S. Army as a whole. I graduated that school, and the next day, I will never forget. I went to Planet Fitness. I had no clue what I was doing. I was trying to do deadlifts on a Smith machine with like 315. Again, no clue what I was doing. Hyped up music, popped something in my back. Never listened to hyped up music again.
Man, I see your point.
Luckily, it happened while I was young. I recovered quick. But if that happened now,
I see what you're saying. To be more conscious and just more like body aware, basically.
absolutely. So I need to feel literally everything, especially on like the load, and absolutely
I see.
focus.
No, that's a good mentality for sure. Since you travel so much and you're in the
Hmm.
industry, What would you say is the coolest gym you've ever been to, or your favorite gym?
Honestly, hmm, let's see. This is gonna sound crazy, but like I can't explain it. So the gym, it's a Gains Train Nutrition. It's here in North Carolina. It's weird. It's not really a gym, but it's a gym. So the owners, they own like a garage of some sort, and they just created a gym during COVID. Long story short, it blew up for all bodybuilders. And the equipment is so old, rusty, but it just gives me that Ronnie Coleman feeling. I love it. And it's isolated. It's isolated. Like you put plates on too fast, you slam your fingers. I'm like, I love this. Like, yeah, it's something psychological.
That's
But
cool.
Gains Train Nutrition in North Carolina, I love it.
North Carolina. We love going to
Yes,
North Carolina. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind to check out one of these days.
yes, yes. It's love. Charlotte has a lot of beautiful gyms as well, like really large gyms.
So Fayetteville is pretty close to Charlotte.
About 2 hour difference. About a 2 hour difference. But Charlotte is way more commercialized. So they'll have a gym that can house about 500 people at once, literally. Like, and it's the slow town. It's like, yeah, way bigger.
We're so into fitness because I know other places like in Tennessee, aside from like Crunch or like a commercial gym, there's not really a lot of options.
Mhm. Yep.
That's impressive that Charlotte's so packed.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, I was gonna ask you, have you been to I went to this one gym called I think it was World Gym in San Diego.
Yeah, they have one here as well. It's super popular. I've been here as well. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's just really stacked here. All of the IFBB pros are in there, and when they in there, they're in there. Um, a lot of grunting, a lot of holding up equipment, all sorts of stuff like that. So it's like I just want to get my workout in. So
Yeah, a lot of serious people,
yeah,
very serious people.
absolutely.
Man, what would you say are some common mistakes when you see people just getting into fitness? Like the most common beginner mistakes.
Number one on my list, and I preach this a lot, people thinking that others are concerned about them. And as a result, they allow that to get in the way of them actually crushing their goals and dream. I mean, excuse me, crushing their goals. Excuse me. Way too often, I do a consult with a client, and it's like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like people are watching me, and it's like I always tell people they're only watching you to make sure you don't get hurt. Everyone in the gym with experience can always tell a beginner, and we all put eyes on you just to make sure you're safe. It's a community. But that's one of the first things that I would say. And number two, mechanics. I see really bad mechanics in the gym, and it's not that people have imbalances per se. It's more so the warm up. People don't warm up properly, and as a result, you see a lot go wrong. So,
True. I like that you mentioned to not be self-conscious because you're right. No one is really looking unless they're looking out for you or if you're doing something really crazy that you know is
hmm
crazy that,
yep,
like those memes,
yep,
but aside from that, nobody cares.
yeah. Where the dudes are like doing upside down pull ups and stuff. Yeah,
The Spider-Man cable machine.
yeah,
Yeah, man, that's funny. What would you say
yes.
your deeper I know you kind of touched on this earlier, but I just want to kind of revisit your deeper ideal for being committed to fitness, like your underlying fundamental why.
So my underlying fundamental why, in all honesty, is to save as many lives as possible. I'm not the richest, right? I'm not rich at all, excuse me. I say all that to say I can't gift the world with money, right? I can't necessarily gift the world with my time. I can't gift the world with my attention, but I can gift the world with value. So my underlying why is to provide as much value to people as possible to save their lives as it relates to their health. So you might not be able to afford me as a one-on-one coach, but if you follow my content, you'll learn enough to where you can go ahead and stay healthy, save yourself, avoid obesity, things of that nature. But I just want to save as many lives as possible. I feel as if between social media or television, there's so much poisonous things out here for the mind that it's like I just want to provide people that safe space. And that's one of the reasons why my price point is so low on my coaching programs is I don't want no one to feel left out. I don't want anyone to feel as if they can't afford it shouldn't cost your arm and a leg to save your life. So that's just my theory.
Agree. That's and honestly, it doesn't seem to get any more powerful than that. So that is a very foundational why. Like that's amazing. All your answers are so good.
Thank you, thank you.
For real. I can tell you're really passionate about what you do.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Some other insight. Would you say if which question if you could give one piece of advice to some sharing some simple insight that had the greatest impact. So, easiest things to do to make a transition into a healthier lifestyle that have the biggest impact. What would you say?
Counting macronutrients, I can't express it enough.
Really?
Literally. Once I realized how simple counting macronutrients was and how that was the determinant factor for excess body fat or reduction in weight loss, game changer. Literally. It's crazy. We consume a lot on a normal basis, not even paying attention. Like we drink one soda and think it's super simple, like, hey, it's just a soda, not realizing you just wasted 60 grams of carbs that could have been something nutritionist. So counting macronutrients, I would definitely say, is at the forefront of that. If people focus more on that, there's a lot of success on the other side, literally. And it's super simple. You only have three components to focus on: protein, carbs, and fats, literally. And one of the biggest misconceptions, I know you didn't ask this, but I just want to slide this in there, is calorie count. I don't know where the world got off with, counting my calories. I'm like, that's irrelevant. What are you putting in your body? But to each his own. I try not to step on people's toes.
That's would you say that counting macros it just makes them like more aware, simply more aware of what they're putting in their body?
Absolutely. Reason being, macros target specific foods, specific groups. So, for example, let's just say someone looks at their plate, right? Let's just say they have chicken, broccoli, and rice. It's easier to break that down and correlate that as opposed to calories. So, if you look at the chicken, you say protein. You look at the rice, you say carbs. You look at the so on and so forth. Super simple as opposed to every calorie. It makes it way more difficult.
I see. No, that makes sense. I like the way you simplify everything.
Yes, yes.
Do you have any specific diets that you follow? Like not necessarily a diet, but do
Mhm.
you have any sort of diet that you prefer in that sense, like Mediterranean diet or just, more whole grains, fresh foods?
Got you. In all honesty, I personally prefer a protein focused diet, right? But ultimately, it's in my coach's hands. So, and I know it sounds crazy because I'm a coach, right? But I also have a nutrition coach, I have a posing coach, and I have a competition prep coach. So, three coaches that are in control of me presenting what I present on stage. But whatever my nutrition coach sends every Saturday, that's it. Honestly, I don't deviate, I don't substitute, I don't negotiate. But if I had it up to me, it would definitely be protein based. Reason being, I function great on low carbs, in all honesty. So,
Okay.
absolutely.
And that's cool that I've heard a quote that every great coach has a coach, and
Absolutely.
it's so true.
Yep. Literally. I literally have three Zoom calls per week. And my wife is like, what are you doing? And I'm like, hey, it's part of the goals. You can't cheat yourself. It'll show eventually. So, you got to
Yeah,
show up.
have that open mindset for growth and
Yeah.
always learning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A favorite cheat meal? Not that, if that's included in your program.
Absolutely. Five Guys. Listen, man, listen. Five Guys. I think it's like a little bacon or something like that. Or I get the big brother. I don't know what they want to call it. It's like three burgers stacked. And that's like one of the things I look forward to in competition prep because the day before the show, the coach always gifts you with the burger and fries. And you like, I just need to get to that day. Like, forget the stage. Just get me to the day before. But absolutely, Five Guys.
It's funny because when my girlfriend was in prep, her coach, who's also my friend, he would always
Mm-hmm.
prescribe, I don't know if the right word is prescribe or
Uh-huh. That's right.
prescribe, almost like medicine. He would tell her to go to Five Guys for her cheat meal. So we'd always go to Five Guys and get, yeah, like you said, a giant burger, those fries. Those fries are amazing. Man, those fries are addicting.
Life changing. Literally, I woke up it's crazy. I woke up 5 pounds lighter after eating Five Guys. Really, really weird. I don't know what my coach did. He knows what he's doing. That's all I could say. And I didn't take any supplements, no nothing. He was just like, go to sleep. And I woke up. I was like, I'm lighter. He was like, told you. I'm like,
That's
Are you going to
crazy.
tell me how this happened?
Yeah,
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
true. Interesting. Yeah. Getting
Yeah.
into the mindset and personal growth sections, even though we asked some deep questions earlier, how has fitness impacted your mental health and overall well-being, would you say?
So fitness has definitely, again, go back to the one of my three words, fitness has taught me persistence. Fitness has also taught me resilience. The very first thing I learned when I got into fitness was to humble myself. So humbling myself in the gym, it was bigger than just getting under weights. It was wiping off equipment behind myself. It was helping smaller females unwrap their weights, right? It was greeting the guests at the door. Just be good to people. If you see someone needs help, etc., etc. So that taught me to humble myself, which translated into life to where I could operate in any capacity, any room, because I'm gonna enter humble. I'll leave the beast, but I'll come in humble, absolutely. So that definitely taught me my resilience. And then as far as persistence and fitness, there is no quitting. You can try, but it will never leave your mind. If you don't get a PR and you go home, you probably won't have a good weekend because until you hit that PR, it's going to be on your mind. And then once you hit that PR, you're ready to set the next goal, so on and so forth. So definitely has taught me persistence and resilience. Absolutely.
True, true. Would you say it's symbolic of life, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell the world, especially men, every man needs to be in the gym. And I always, any man I come across, I tell him, hey, you need to do a show. I don't care if you play 17th, do a show. You have to experience this. It only makes sense. You truly understand the value of hard work, literally, so absolutely.
It's good advice to learn the discipline and just the mental fortitude that it takes.
More importantly, the sacrifice. So I have a few male clients, and this is, as you said, mindset, right? Because as a coach, you're more than just someone who's programming something. You're a counselor, et cetera, et cetera. But more importantly, people, men specifically, don't know sacrifice as much as we think they do. And bodybuilding teaches you sacrifice, and then it impacts your household in a good or bad way, depending on which direction you allow this to go. But for me, competition prep taught me to go without so that my wife and my daughter can have whatever it is they want. So on the weekends, now that I'm not doing a show, my wife be like, "Where you want to go to eat today?" And I'm just like, "Whatever you want to do. Like I'm your servant. Tell me what you want to do." And it helps, brings brighter days.
I've never heard anyone say that it helps men learn sacrifice.
Absolutely. Learn to go without.
That is really interesting. I was so
Mhm.
focused on the discipline side of it, but the sacrifice is even greater than that because that's like the precursor for that
Absolutely. Absolutely.
sacrifice. Man,
That's your foundation.
yeah, no, that's I'm really glad you said that. This is I love doing these interviews because I learn so much, and everyone has certain things that I've never even thought of that just really opens up my mind. And it's so cool to hear people's stories and journeys. And you're very wise for you said 2029?
29.
No, for sure. That's I really do respect your mindset.
Thank you. Thank you.
What would you say is a morning ritual that you have? Do you have any morning rituals or mental exercises that you do for success?
Absolutely. So I have something called, again, I stole from Alex and Mosey. I owe that man a lot of money. One day he'll get it. 10 before 10. Something that he preaches in like one of his earlier books. And all that is three things for your health, and then family. So when it comes down to my health, the first three things that I do is I stretch, drink water, and foam roll. So those are the first three things I do for my health. For my wealth, that's more so into the business, checking in with clients, making adjustments, good morning motivation video for them. And then as it relates to my family, it's going to sound kind of funny. You might find it funny. First things first, I put my daughter iPad on the charger. That's like the very first thing. Because without that iPad, that kid will wreck this home. That's number one. Number two, I write my wife a really detailed message. No matter what, I don't cheat her. I make sure to give her that message, just expressing gratitude for the previous day and thanking God for her waking up. Third thing, definitely sit, excuse me. This is number one actually, but praying falls into the family realm. And then the fourth thing that I do for my family is I go ahead and prepare their breakfast before going to the gym. Prepare their breakfast and my wife's coffee, and I just leave it on her desk because she works from home. So them downstairs, it's just going to work mode, going to mother mode. You're good to go. That's my 10 before 10.
You're just being of service to them and
Absolutely.
making sure they have a good start to their day.
Absolutely. Try to alleviate. My wife calls me a king alleviate. That's my goal. Just alleviate as much as I can. I don't want nobody stressed. Let me handle that. So, absolutely.
Man, I feel like a lot of guys need to hear this episode and take some notes from you, including
Absolutely.
myself. That's amazing. The message, I like the way
Thank you.
you write a detailed message. So every morning, something to inspire her.
Not even, I swear it's so simple. I could tell her something like, I love the way you wash those dishes. You're preventing bacteria. I take the simplest thing, but it's thoughtful, it's creative. She wakes up and laugh like, really? Dishes? And I'm like, but I thought about you. But it works.
Oh, no, that's amazing, really. That is
Absolutely.
amazing. It's the little things that matter the most.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Man, that's awesome. Do you have any advice for those struggling with self-doubt or lack of motivation?
Yes. Yes. So my number one piece of advice to those struggling with self-doubt and motivation is to, number one, meet yourself where you are. I feel as if the world's expectations are too high for either A, others, or B, themselves, right? And people don't take the time to assess where they truly are. Where you want to be is totally fine, but first we have to acknowledge where we are. Next, we have to curate a plan to get to where we want to be. And then the third thing is to figure out what it is that we'll do once we get there. Because for the most part, we all set goals and we're like, I'm going to be so happy once I hit this. You hit that goal and you're like, this is boring. What's next? You plan for that in advance, though, on step one, though. So I would definitely tell the world to do that, in my personal opinion. So definitely acknowledge where you are, like assess where you are, then go for your goals.
I like that. It kind of brings in the self-discovery, the self-awareness, and then kind of builds from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I'm not a big fan of goals, me personally. I don't know how the world feels. And here's why I'm not a big fan of goals. Because if you hit them, you get bored. And if you don't hit them, you feel less than, when in all reality, you're the same person prior to even achieving the goals, right? Even when you do achieve the goals, for example, let's just say, I think I heard you say you own several gyms, right? It's my dream.
No, not
No,
no, no. I'm
sorry,
working.
sorry, sorry, sorry.
You're good. I'm working on building an online fitness brand.
Got you, got you.
One day that'd be cool though to have some gyms.
Perfect. Look, let's just say you wanted 10, right? You get there, I promise you, you'll feel the same exact way. Does the concern raise because now you're responsible, but you'll still love your wife. Everything will still be the same. You'll still do your pop. Nothing changes, I promise you. So I say all of that to say, acknowledge where you are, meet yourself where you are, and take off to your goals. Lower the expectations. That way you don't feel like a loser if you don't hit it. It's just
Right.
my advice.
Oh, that's great advice because so many people get down on themselves, are so hard on themselves for not reaching a goal or focused on the wrong things in general. So that's very good advice.
And I do have one more for you, if it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Stop avoiding and start fixing. That's like my Okay, let me go a little deeper for you. So, way too often, I don't want to get into politics, so I really don't want to do that here. Okay, I'll tell you what.
You can say whatever you want.
Way too often, people are quick to get rid of an issue instead of assessing the issue. Let's just put it like that. So, me personally, I have staff members beneath me, right? I had one staff member who was underperforming, and I was talking to my wife. I'm like, I'm about to get rid of her. My wife was like, is that the answer? The next person who come in, you'll have the same issue with them. Figure out what's wrong. Long story short, it was an issue within my SOP that was confusing the staff member. I fixed that. KPIs went through the roof. She's performing at a high level. But people are quick to get rid of something that isn't working instead of fixing the issue. That's as well.
No, that makes sense to find out where the issue lies and not to avoid effective work. And so, kind of like a couple lessons within what you said.
Absolutely. There's always a disconnect. In life, there will always be a disconnect. Catch it before it catch you.
That's true. I like that. What would you say? What's one business, or we're getting towards the end? One business or personal failure that has taught you an invaluable lesson.
Oh, ads.
Good. Running ads.
So, yes, running ads. It taught me a big lesson. You can put all the money into marketing, but if the product isn't good, it will backfire. Remember in the beginning, I told you, do it alone, do it afraid, do it scared. I did that, right? And I just jumped out there and started putting money behind ads, just wasting money. And I was getting inbound leads, but they weren't converting. And the reason being, the product was trash. My process was trash. Everything, there was no effort put behind anything. I just thought that I could throw money at an issue and it'll fix.
I see.
So establish a solid foundation within your business before going out there gathering leads, or else it will backfire. And in fitness, if you get a bad reputation, it's over. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. It's like real estate.
Okay, so then once you refined the product and changed your system in a sense, then
Mhm.
did you try running ads again, or you just focused on organic?
So, number one, I had to actually care. So I started out comparing myself to others who's doing 50K, 60K, and I'm like, I'm putting ads out there, and it's like backfired. Number one, and the reason it backfired was because I didn't care enough about systems. So revised the systems, started showing more conviction, more concern for my people and not just their pockets. That's when everything began to flourish. So have more conviction about what it is that you believe in. It's my word to the world, in all honesty. Be passionate about it or don't touch it.
I like that, man. Yeah, that's powerful as well.
Hmm.
It's funny because you were saying that this was more, you know, on the spot, this interview,
Hmm.
but
Yes.
yet you're just being you, and you have all this wisdom that is flowing out. It's like this is this is amazing. I appreciate all the insight. A lot of people are going to find a lot of value in this, including
Thank
myself.
you.
Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you. Really hope so. Thank you. And I can't wait to share this with the world. Just the platform, everything. I love what you're doing, man. I love what you're doing. More importantly, what made me gravitate towards you was how humble you were. Like there was no. I actually think I reached out to you first. I don't know, but either way, you were really humble, right? And you were open. You didn't niche down specifically to a specific industry or genre. You're open. I love that. And you set no restrictions. I love it.
Thank you. No, that means a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're all here together, and ultimately, I have the same purpose as you to help people make a
Absolutely.
transition into a healthier lifestyle. And I feel like, yeah, I don't care about the monetary side. Of course, that'll come. It's really nice to meet people, like-minded individuals who have the same mindset, because that's rare.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I always tell people the money will come. The money will come. As long as you're passionate, the money will come. It's no different than a I don't know if you go to a restaurant and the chef comes from the back and greets you, you're like, okay, I want to be here. He cares, Same
That's
thing in
true.
life.
That's true. People can always tell.
Yeah, absolutely. They can always read it. And that determines if the money will come or not, how much you truly care.
That's a good point, man. You give me a lot to think about. Seriously. Um, it's got a few questions left. What are some
Hmm.
non-negotiable habits that help you stay productive and focused?
No drugs, no alcohol. And
Wow.
I know that obviously the military, no drugs, automatic. But when it comes down to alcohol, I'm no saint. Like if I go on a vacation, I'm on vacation. But outside of that, just casual drinker. No drugs, no alcohol. I need to be alert at all times.
Good. Yeah, I was impressed with the alcohol side. I mean, I'm not a big drinker. I'll have like a glass of wine
Hmm.
maybe once a
Yes.
week, once every couple of weeks, but
Yeah.
you do feel sharper without it.
Yeah. And more importantly, I love, believe it or not, this is going to sound bad, but I love having the advantage. I love having the advantage of my surroundings. So I can go anywhere in public, and if I see you're intoxicated, I got you. I could literally, I can't literally stop a bullet from coming, but I could prevent anything from happening because I'm the only sober one. So I love that.
That is, yeah, that's good. I bet your friends really like that to have someone they can.
Yeah, I stay in the house. Me and the wife. It's 2025. I'd rather stay safe.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like on New Year's and holidays and
Yes.
yeah, for sure. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received from a mentor or role model?
Okay. One of my mentors, Neil Davis, gave me like one of the best pieces of advice. This was 2022. It has to work or it has to work. That was what he said to me. Like I literally paid this guy 500 for a call, and he kept repeating the same thing. It has to work or it has to work. And I was just like, do I get my money back? I don't get it. So I couldn't see it back then. But now I understand, right? So it has to work or it has to work. Sorry for repeating that again. Here's what that means to me. Um, if you tell me you want a successful podcast, right? There is no option B, right? You do your podcast, and no matter what, it will eventually work out. There is no plan B. Basically, you burn the boats, get rid of all options, and figure out how to make this thing work specifically. So for me, getting out of the military, and I'm just connecting it with me. I'm getting out of the military, right? I have a top secret clearance. I have several degrees, several certifications. I'm very marketable in the civilian workspace, right? But my passion lies here. So am I missing out on a lot of money out there? Yeah, but as far as fitness goes, it has to work or it has to work. I don't have nowhere else to go. I do, but I don't have to make this work.
That's good though, because you have confidence in yourself and you trust in God and you know what you want and you're just all in.
Literally.
It's a good mentality.
Even when it's scary. Even when it's scary, and it's not easy having to sit down with your wife and say, "Hey, I'm turning down this job that's paying 100 plus K to pursue my fitness business." It's like, what? But
Yeah,
it has to work or it has to work.
has to work what has to work. It's so simple.
Yep.
$500 for that though?
Still want a refund, man.
That's funny. No, this powerful though. Got a few questions. I think three or four.
Hmm.
Where did it go? Sorry, I just got
No,
lost.
you're fine. You're fine. We're here. We're here.
Oh, what does living a purpose-driven life mean to you?
So for me to live a purpose-driven life, it requires three factors: purpose, direction, and motivation. Without those three, you're going nowhere. People try to take one without the other, and then they always realize they need the other. So purpose-driven life refers back to, again, I need purpose. I need to know what I'm doing, right? Next, I need to be motivated to do it, right? Lastly, I need direction. Where am I going with this? Those three key factors will definitely lead you into a purpose-driven life, literally. So in the beginning, I told you I'm here to save as many lives as possible. There's my purpose, right? My motivation as possible. Save as many lives as possible. Direction, get them all in shape, prevent diabetes, obesity, etc., etc. But it all lies right there with my passion. So, perfect.
Nice. No, I like that. Yeah, great answer. As again, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would you say? This
Start
one.
lifting.
I started lifting earlier.
Swear, if I could go back, man, like I said, I recently stepped off stage 2 weeks ago, and there was this one kid backstage. This dude had to be like 6'4", 230, like pure muscle. And I was like, who are you? Like, how old are you? He was like, 20, like just the little squeakiest voice. And I'm like, who birthed you? But
That muscle maturity?
listen, and there was so many kids back there. I'm talking, they made me look like nothing. They just lacked the aesthetic. But if I could do anything over, like I would give my right hand to start lifting at like age 16. Give me 18 at least. I didn't start lifting weights until 26. So, yeah, absolutely. And I feel as if I would have started lifting a lot earlier in my younger days, that could have prevented so many obstacles in which I endeavored, because I would have, again, had the resilience and the persistence. I wouldn't have complained as much and I wouldn't have looked for an out
Wow. You would have learned those lessons.
early. And I would be so far ahead in life right now. But again, we're not in control. He is. That's it.
And you're exactly where you need for sure. Man, man.
Absolutely.
So then what is next for you? How are you continuing to push your own boundaries in your personal life, fitness, or career?
So, three things. Number one, balance. I am working on balance. Every day I create a new schedule because I'm just like, I have to fit in the work. Got to fit the work in. You have to do the work. You have to take care of your family. And then you have to make sure that you have client success. You want to make sure that they're happy, they're achieving their goals. I'm really working on balance. It's like number one for me, you know. And then number two is outreach. I'm working on more outreach. I'm working on more partnerships with like partnering industries, whether that's media, nutrition, travel, whatever anything that connects to fitness. I'm looking to partner with people and just get as much outreach as possible. No profit, simply awareness. Like you said, this isn't monetized, right? It's just to bring awareness. And eventually, God will call our number. But when we get up there, we'll have a lot of good to tell them. That's the end goal.
It's nice. So that's I like that. Um, that's actually all of my questions. And if you just want to share where people can find you, and of course, when we post the episode, I'll link everything below.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you are looking for any of my fitness products, fitness coaching programs, anything like that, you can go to brickafterbrickfitness.com. If you're looking to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube, it's Mr. Brick After Brick. No underscores, no nothing. But those are the platforms in which you can find me. And on Instagram specifically, every day I had a different topic with my results driven accountability system. So if you're looking to just get better, learn more, be more, Instagram is the best place to learn as much as possible for me for free. Cost me nothing, literally.
Hey, Tim. Well, I appreciate you joining today and sharing all of that insight. And that concludes episode number 17.
Thank you so much, bro. Thanks again for the invite. I love it. It was a pleasure.